Winning. I've outsmarted you on a number of levels. Beta. Well, actually, King's not. Beta.
That was a hot mess inside a dumpster fire, inside a train wreck.
Keep your mouth shut. I'm going to go in there and slap your face.
You know, we're going to rise like the Phoenix. And
Get in my limousine. Ride on 85. Get in my Learjet. Woo!
Welcome to the Asterisk Collusion podcast. You're back with the King, and I'm joined here with my compadre, the Grizz. How are you doing, Grizz?
I'm great. Training camps is about 4 weeks away. There's some buzz in the air, and I did see one of the best videos I've ever seen in my life this past week. It goes hot to a spit on that thing. Have you seen that?
I have. I think the whole world has seen it.
I think I'm in love.
Yeah, that girl knows what she's talking about.
Well, when you get her to the Ashton Cup draft.
Dude, you should number one draft pick right there.
But all kidding aside, we got some good things to talk about. We're going to talk some sexy stuff this week. We're going to talk rookies and sophomore players in fantasy football. So I know Gatos and some of the evil players like Sleeper are going to listen in on this and try to disrupt the league come draft day. That's not too far away.
I know we're giving away keys to the kingdom here. I mean, Sleeper and Gatos, they're just going to be, they'll probably have their ears glued to the pod, just taking notes.
And this is the kind of stuff that really wins you the league. We like young studs that nobody knows much about, and it's kind of like fool's gold. You know, you reach for some of these players, and some of these guys can win you the league, like Gatos with Kyren Williams, I think is how you pronounce his name, the running back from the Rams, and that was the last round of the draft, and that guy was a stud last year.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we're gonna be talking about some like rookies and sophomores. But we're also gonna be talking a little bit about the draft this upcoming draft. So be sure to listen to the entire podcast. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. I think it's gonna get a little bit better as the podcast comes to a conclusion.
Definitely. All right. Well, let's just jump into it. Let's talk about some running backs.
Yeah, so last year's running back class was, in my opinion, dynamic. It was really unique and a great draft for running backs. And we'll just go down the list. We're not going to get too long into this because we know what these players are at this point. They played a season, and some of these guys are just studs. I think the best running back going into next year is Bijan Robinson. LTD had him last year. I think he is going to go high again in this year's draft. I think he's a solid round one. If he slips past round two much, I'd be surprised. I think he'll have a better year this year coming up. But there is a thing about a sophomore slump for running backs. So what do you put into the sophomore slump for running backs? Does it scare you much?
I guess I'm going to take it player by player. I don't think it's, a blanket statement. I think like Bijan's in a great situation with Kirk Cousins there. From what I understand, they're going to try to use Bijan more like C-Mac, which would be huge for him and any fantasy owner.
He's in a great situation, and I think Cousins there is really, and his fantasy value, if healthy and playing well, he could have a 1,500-yard season to 2,000-yard season. So I think Bijan's a great player this year. Number two, I have Jahmyr Gibbs. He played great in spurts last year, actually surprised me. The Lions are going to focus on him a little bit more, I bet, this year, and kind of maybe phase out Montgomery a little bit. So Jahmyr Gibbs was, when he got the ball in his hands in the open field, he was dangerous.
Oh, yeah. I think I was just shocked by the Detroit Lions last year, period. Like, I thought all their fantasy players were being kind of middling, but since they had such an amazing season, Jahmyr Gibbs benefited from that, and I think he can only keep going up. I think he's got to have a great year.
His stock's on the rise. Then we got the Gatos player, and I think Gibbs was sleeper territory last year.
Yeah.
We got Kyren Williams, the Gatos stud running back who won in the league, went to the Pro Bowl as a rookie.
I think he was a second. This is his third year.
Is it his third year?
Yeah, he did so little like his rookie year. It probably seemed like last year was his rookie year.
Well, it kind of is, I guess, because he really didn't come onto the scene. I didn't know that, and he was unknown to me. But geez, I mean, Stafford, they still have that nucleus of receivers there. I don't see any reason why he should fall off the bandwagon. I think he'll be a solid fantasy player. I think the one guy coming up next who could have a super big year. The team kind of stinks because Henry's gone and they got a new coaching staff. But I don't know if you watched the Titans much last year. If you did, but Tajay Spears looked really good when he played, I thought. And now that he's the bell cow there, he's not a big guy, but I think he's got some sneaky upside where he can get a lot of catches and be a multi-dimensional back. I don't think he's got a lot of guys there that kind of threaten him taking the ball.
Nah, dude, he might be a nice sleeper pick this year. I don't think he's going to go too high in our draft.
Nope.
But I mean, he would be a starter for like an NFL team. I mean, that's kind of those don't grow on trees.
That's right. And then the next we have Zach Carbonet from the Seattle Seahawks. LTD had him again last year, and he looked really good when he played. The only problem is he's going to be splitting carries, and that's not sexy in our league, and it kind of drops you down. But you need 5 or 6 servable running backs because they're so interchangeable week to week because you never know who's going to get hurt. And if your talent always shines through, I mean, that guy, you never know. He could end up being a starter at the end of the year. I mean, who knows? So, again, great class. We got one more I like a lot in this list, and that's Devon Arcane. Like we talked about, I can't remember how you say his last name. The Miami running back sleeper had him also. He's a little guy, but he had some big games, and I don't know what the Dolphins are going to do, but I think he has an ability to be one of those players that could win you the league.
I hear they're working him out at wide receiver also. Could be a PPR monster. Yeah, dude, that kid's sexy right now. I'll say that. Pure speed. I mean, if you want to, we can rattle off the rest. If you just want to just say some names.
Yeah, we got Chase Brown. And a lot of these guys are just guys who have potential, in my opinion. They haven't dominated yet, but they're getting the looks and moving forward. I think their value's pointing up. We just don't know what it's going to be in year 2. The other one is, I can't remember what team this guy's on. I wrote it down. I haven't really looked at all these players in a while. Israel, and I think it's a Jets player.
We're just making.
I can't remember. I don't know the guy's name.
That's right. The mystery player got league mystery player.
that is the guy. He's probably going to win the league next year.
We're not even going to say his name.
Yeah, no. I remember when I was reading about him. I was looking at his stats. I'm like, I didn't even realize that guy even had a relevant year. But Israel had a pretty decent year. I think it was on the back end. That's why nobody noticed it.
I think we should just move on from Israel.
Keandre Miller. That was the Saints running back, and he looked pretty good in spurts. I don't even know what they're going to do with that running back situation because the Saints are a weird team. I can't figure out the Saints. Then we got Tank Bigsby. Again, he could be like a guy who steals touchdowns. Deuce Vaughn with the Cowboys. We don't know what the Cowboys are going to be doing in the backfield. And then also with the Giants, Eric Gray. The Giants are a hot mess. Who's going to get the rock with the Giants?
Yeah, that's true. Well, let's jump over to some rookie running backs real quick. This should be a quick conversation because they all pretty much suck, in my opinion. But
it's the worst running back class I maybe have ever seen in my life, honestly, especially compared to last year. It's night and day. And right now, I mean, I don't really know much about most of these players. I didn't even spend time reading about them much or analyzing it because they're all average, in my opinion. Trey Benson with the Cardinals. I mean, he is in a spot. James Conner. I mean, he is old, and they need some new life. They need that. Trey Benson could be a guy again that somebody targets in middle rounds that could do real well. Again, you got Jalen Wright in Miami. I think Miami's just going to have somebody come through this year, but we don't know who it's going to be. And your boy Jonathan Brooks of Carolina. You didn't like that pick at all, the first running back picked in the draft, but it's kind of interesting because he played behind Bijan, and then the Bears running back, Roshan Johnson, and it's like, wow, this guy's the first running back picked again. Like, what's Texas doing? But he's coming off an injury, and I know Carolina fans are just hoping that he maybe he's got something to show for.
Hopefully. What do you think? I mean, God, we suck. Let's start talking about some sophomore receivers, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, it's like how boring are the running backs?
Yeah, they do suck.
Sophomore wide receivers, this is a crazy class.
Yeah.
And I mean, God, Lord, we have I didn't even put Puka on here because he was a rookie last year, wasn't he?
He was a rookie. You forgot Puka, man.
Yeah, he was drafted. I don't know. I was going through this, but this is so many amazing receivers. You got Jordan Addison. He's going to go high, I think. But again, there's a quarterback issue there. Nathan Dell, the Texans. That was one guy who just nobody saw coming through. Zay Flowers looked good last year at the Ravens. Rashid Rice with the Chiefs. Like, we don't know what that knucklehead is even going to do.
I mean, if he stays out of jail, I agree with you.
Jalen Hyatt with the Giants. He looks nice. And again, somebody's got to get the balls there. Jackson Smith, Najigba. They got a three-headed monster still in Seattle. Quentin Johnson's an interesting one with the Chargers because they lost two receivers over there, and Herbert and you got Mr. Harbaugh over there. So Quentin Johnson's, it's his time to shine. Like, that is an interesting player. I want to know where he goes in the Ashland Cup. You got Jaden Reed. I think you had him last year for Green Bay, didn't you?
Oh, he was a beast at the end of the year. Like,
Lord, he was just tearing it up. I was like, I mean,
they just gave him the ball, rushing, passing, whatever. He did it.
You got Marvin Mims, Jonathan Mingo, Josh Downs, Michael Wilson. Those are all guys kind of in the same category. Like, I think they'll probably get drafted and do decent. Those are just guys I just wrote down. And we got Puka. And I mean, where do you think he goes as a sophomore wide receiver in that system? Do you think he goes round one?
Man, that's a tough one because he really came on when Cooper Kupp was injured. I mean, I think he will still be a high, volume target, but man, this is where I think maybe a sophomore slump would come into play. Maybe I wouldn't touch him first round, but second round, yeah.
Oh, there's no way he'll go past far. I mean, he'll definitely be about round two. And I think somebody like Drill will be all over that. That's his favorite player in the league right now.
Oh, dude, probably draft him like number one overall.
So as bad as the running back class is for rookies, it's the opposite, in my opinion, for wide receivers. This year's receiver class is loaded.
Yeah.
Starting at the top here, who I think is going to probably be a 50-50 chance to win Rookie of the Year, Marvin Harrison Jr. with the Cardinals. He should be a high draft pick. I think he'll go round 2-3, like right in there. If he slips past round 3, I'd be surprised. Malik Neighbors, the Giants, he is a stud. The only problem is, can Jones get him the ball? We'll see. Neighbors is sick. You got Jacob Worthy, who I think is a perfect fit for Kansas City in that offense. He is fast, but he may be just a one-trick pony, kind of one of those frustrating players for Kansas City that gets like 150 yards, 3 catches, and 2 touchdowns a game. The next week doesn't show up.
Well, I like Xavier because of Mahomes. If he was with about any other team, I'd have him way farther down on your list.
Exactly.
But with Mahomes throwing the ball, that one trick could be very special, especially with who knows what's going to happen with Rashid Rice. He needs receivers.
Yeah, he's got 3 of them now. They also got Hollywood. And what I see happening, whoever drafts Mahomes early in the draft, because Mahomes is going to go early, they're going to have to load up in those wide receivers because that can make you super dangerous.
Yeah.
But then we got Brian Thomas Jr., one of my favorite wide receivers in the draft. He's with the Jaguars. And Trevor Lawrence just got paid, so there's no more excuses. Trevor Lawrence needs to deliver, and I think Brian Thomas will be the beneficiary of that to make him look better. And we got Ladd McConkey with the Rams. I wonder what he will be. Is he with the Rams or the Chargers?
Chargers.
Yeah. But again, I think he is I saw him in training camp. That dude is tiny.
I hear he's already the number 1 receiver now.
that is scary because I heard the same thing, and we'll have to wait to see. And then we got Roma Dunze with the Bears. I think he's just going to be in the rotation there. I think Roma will be solid, but there's no way he's going to be posting up like huge numbers. Maybe he could, but I don't see it happening. We got Roman Wilson with Pittsburgh. That could be a nice little thing going on there because they need some receivers help there. And they got the other Texas wide receiver, Adonai Mitchell, with the Colts. I liked him a lot, and I'm surprised he fell that far in the draft.
Oh, I know that was so stupid of a lot of teams.
Then you got Ricky Pearsall from Florida with San Francisco, and it's weird because you've heard all the rumors coming out of San Francisco about their wide receiver Brandon Ayuk. I don't know what's going on with that situation. He wants to get paid. I think he may be traded before training camp. So if he does, I think that increases Ricky's value there.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you got Xavier Legette with the Panthers and Troy Franklin with the Broncos. I think both those guys have some unique upside and ability. They really need those players to come through. And like we can move on to tight ends, but I tell you what, that rookie running back or rookie wide receiver class is there's about 10 guys I'd like to have in my team.
Oh yeah, the rookies are looking very good. Yeah, so at least a couple of them are going to pop for some like a really good or not just rookie seasons, just good receiver seasons. I mean, just got to be able to pick the right one.
That's right. Okay, so now we go to tight ends, sophomore tight ends, and I tell you what, LTD I know had Laporta. He caused some fires last year. He was outstanding, and I don't think Laporta falls past round 3.
Laporta is probably the number 1 tight end this year.
He's going to be hot.
I mean,
draft.
I would put him over
Kelsey?
Yeah, Kelsey right now. I would at least.
There's nobody else in that draft class last year that shines like he does. The only one close to that is Dalton Kincaid because they have no wide receivers in Buffalo really, other than the rookie they have. But Kincaid should have an opportunity to get some catches. They had Mike Meyer with the Raiders. They drafted another tight end there. We'll get to that here in a minute. I don't know if Mayer will have a good year. And then you got Luke Musgrave with the Green Bay Packers. So it's kind of boring after Laporta. Laporta is just going to be a hot commodity, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Laporta will be hot. I actually like Mayer. I think you'll have a good, I mean, like a lot of rookie tight ends minus Laporta really don't come out and shine their rookie years. But Mayer was, I think he's a stud. I think he's, who's the quarterback right now for the Raiders?
That rookie that I think they're going to play, that guy, the guy from Purdue. I forget his name. He's not that good. I don't know what the Raiders are going to be doing this year. They kind of toughed it out last year. That's why they hired that offensive coordinator to be their head coach in the interim. So Raiders, I mean, they got Brock Bowers, which I was going to get to, the rookie. I mean, Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers. That is a very good combination. But for fantasy, they can both get 40 or 50 balls each. And I mean, if there was one I had to pick between getting more catches, to go to Bowers. He's a pass catcher.
Hey, it could be another Anthony Hernandez and Gronkowski combo right there.
That's what I was kind of thinking of. But, like I said, I don't know how many balls will be thrown there. They lost Jacobs there. So I don't know. But then we got actually a tight end I like a lot, Ben Sinnott from, I think he's from Kansas State. He's with the Redskins or the Commanders. I think he'll have a sneaky good year. Heard it from the Grizz here first. And then what do you think about your tight end, Jatavion Sanders of the Panthers? Do you like him a lot? What's the talk in Charlotte?
I mean, I like him. I think he will be probably – they're going to probably rotate tight ends. Like Trimble probably start off like as the starter, but he's going to probably get rotated in, kind of like receiving threat. Again, I don't think he's going to have like this magical big year or anything, but if this was like a dynasty draft and you wanted a tight end like in the last few rounds, I would probably take him because I think in maybe next year or the year after, he's going to really shine.
Yeah, I agree. And then they got Theo Johnson with the Giants. Again, he's in a situation because their tight end just retired. I was kind of shocked by that. I was at the beach last week and we saw what I can't even think of his name. The guy with the tattoos, was in the kind of a head case, was the Raiders for a long time. Then he went to the Giants. You know what I'm talking about?
Shockey?
No, not Shockey. That's the tight end just retired last week. I can't think of his name.
Waller?
Yeah, Darren Waller. He just retired, so Theo Johnson's got a unique chance to start, doing something. The Giants they got a lot of young players. They got to figure some things out, and usually for fantasy, somebody's going to come through. So get to the last bit here. The quarterback class this year is interesting. The last year was shocking. C.J. Stroud. God, the quarterback draft this year in the National Cup is going to be very, very interesting.
Early, come here.
Uh-oh. But I think Stroud is going to have another good year. They got Diggs there. So I think Stroud would go high in our draft. I'd be very surprised to see him fall out around 4 or 5. Anthony Richardson was actually playing good ball last year before he had an injury. He's got some good fantasy upside, and he was actually playing very well for sleeper here and there. So I think he's got some solid value. Then we got Bryce Young and Will Levis. Do you think those two get drafted in the National Cup? Let's be honest.
No, neither one of them. I mean, maybe Levis in the last round or so, but that's about it. But I really don't see any of them having like a dramatic impact.
So let's look at rookie quarterbacks here. This is a really unique class. The 4 that I have tabbed, because Penix is not going to play. We know that. And there's no way I would take the New England quarterback drafted, the UNC quarterback, Drake. Drake May does not excite me at all there. I don't know if he'll even play much. But the obvious, and me even to be an Bears fan, Caleb Williams, I think, and Jaden Daniels are the big 2 that I would look at drafting in fantasy. Do you think Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams has got any ability to put up numbers like C.J. Stroud?
No, not the rookie year. I think like C.J. Stroud had just kind of like a freak, like unique season. I think he had broke like all rookie records, didn't he, or something? I think those are guys like Caleb Williams is in the best position to have a successful season of any of the rookie quarterbacks. He's got veteran receivers, and I think the Bears have upgraded a lot of the positions, like even offensive line, right?
They've upgraded everywhere. I mean, the receiver situation is good. They got 2 good tight ends, and I'd be surprised. I will say this: I think Caleb Williams will put up better numbers his rookie year than Fields ever had in terms of passing. I'll say that. I'm pretty convinced that will happen. That's not really saying a whole lot, but I think he'll play better than Fields has since he was with the Bears. But a lot of that is Fields didn't have the supporting cast. It's not really a fair statement. Jaden Daniels is actually very interesting in my opinion because they got a new coaching staff there. And I did like him a lot, but he's kind of frail. I don't know what he is. He's a very unique player. And then we got J.J. McCarthy with the Vikings. He's got a good team there.
Yeah, I mean, JJ's definitely got the receivers, that's for sure. I've just never liked JJ McCarthy, period. I can't believe they drafted him in the first round. But Daniels, going back to him, he might have the most fantasy impact of any rookie receiver. Just for his running ability alone. By the way, Andy, getting a message right now. Surprise guest popping in.
Really?
That is right. Oh my gosh, who is this guy?
What we got here, Coop? Who is it?
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Good evening.
Oh no! Who is it?
Collusion, Asterisk and Collusion podcast. Woo! Hey, let me see. I might be sideways. Hold on, boys. Let me get technical.
There we go.
There we are.
F and details. Are we back? Are we back now? Am I in good?
We're back.
You're good.
I got to make sure you get a good view of the hardware. Also, the Pickers vodka and fruit punch for tonight that are one of our wonderful sponsors. Also to trigger the big king over there. Got a little NC State cup for him.
Oh yeah.
And hello, boys. So glad to be on this pod tonight.
We were talking about your favorite player and wondering if you're going to draft Puka round 1. Is that a done deal?
I'm sorry. Go one more time. You said
you draft your wide receiver from the Rams, Puka Nacua.
Puka. Well, I'm gonna do the king move and probably go. Well, actually, you know what? I haven't even done any research, and I'm just gonna put myself on the hot button tonight. And I'm gonna make my pick.
All right.
Because we were gonna do a single day on July 5th, but you guys know it's like herding cats. So
that's right.
Yeah, so we'll get to that. But I'll say I got a few things that I want to get right out, if that's cool.
Hey.
I want to interrupt you for 2 seconds, Drill. I noticed something on your shirt. Can we get a closer view of that? What kind of shirt do you have on there this afternoon?
Well, I'm gonna get close, get on one knee, and show you this epic man, the Gaptos. Dude, it is. Let me give you a better view of the face.
Woo!
Look at that, boys. And I gotta tell you, this was part of the big jinx of what we call the celebration of the drill domination back in 2023. It was a way overplay. I've been humbled over the last several months, almost a year. So I just want to say that.
Well, get on. What's our league representative have to speak to us? Speak the truth.
Well, I just want to make sure, because I want to get you guys talking more on these things, and just excited to get these things out. So as you see right here, we have the big trophy, the Ashland Cup. Okay. And we have the WCW, excuse me, I'll say we can't use that online now. A real championship belt that we use for the regular season winner. And for those that haven't heard yet, exciting news, we have 2 new trophies, brand spanking new trophies coming to the AC.
Oh,
and the first one is what we're calling the Charlie Burns Bowl. And for those that don't know, he is our venerable leader. I'm the assistant commissioner. I do very little compared to him. And I'm really excited that we're going to be honoring him with the trophy being not only renamed, but a bust of him. So it's going to be super epic. It's Portuguese bronze, weighs about 35, 40 pounds. It's going to be the most ultimate paperweight in the world. And they don't even do the Academy Award trophies at this level. So, and I don't want to get too into him because I don't want to give him any time, but a certain individual was questioning why we had such a big fundraiser for these said trophies. So the next piece, though, to get right into it, is this has been an amazing representation of our league. And it'll go into the league office in a case for all those that come through to see the great ones that have made their name on this. And now it's seen its time, and I don't want to give too much away. I haven't taken it actually. I don't even want it on the screen. So what you need to know is that the trophy's approximately 38 inches tall. It is about 75 pounds, solid metal. It'll be something that the ones that sponsored the trophy, the ones that have, the Stanley Cup doesn't even have this. We got some great ones that have sponsored this trophy, and their placards will be at the top, lifetime type stuff. And then as we grow and we have legacies like the Stanley Cup, to use that as an example, occasionally rings will have to be taken off of people's names. And it's going to be so great that you can have not only your name that you won, but about a 100-character type comment for your winning.
That would be legendary.
It is just amazing, boys. So I'm just, to start with that before we go to the
Well,
epic news. I
we
wanted
got
to
about
get-
5 minutes left, Drill. Let's hop
All right,
into
so
it.
let's go into the elevator talk moment. So this was it's been really difficult this year to get everybody to figure out how to do the draft, and really the consensus now from the exec board, and you kind of get down to where you just got to make a decision. And we're going to do something unprecedented, and we are going to have the draft on the weekend of August 16th and 17th in the Gate City. The commentary doesn't even need to be there. We'll just say that it was really hard to get everyone together. And with the league being all the changes in the league, it's not too early to do the draft. There'll be more information coming on how we can have some slight contingencies that the Supreme Court is putting in place. And just for briefly, we're going to do Friday, Saturday, boys. Those that want to can see me take my shirt off or wear this at some golf course in Guilford County. And then that'll be about 11:30, 12-ish. We'll get back to league headquarters, have a cookout there. Andy Byrne, the Grizz is going to be, the great Grizz is going to be leading that. And then 8 o'clock start for awards and just 2 rounds. There will be no possibility for Gatos to do magic medicine. And after going to 4, win the whole thing. We know that the guy is a savage. So on that, that's really all I have, King. I just wanted, and Grizz, I wanted to make sure to get on and, hit the head on this, that we're on board with doing it. We'll have a great Zoom setup, no BS, where people can be there with a big screen, see the whole epic journey. And for those that don't know, I went from first to worst for running my mouth, and now I have to buy the ring. And I'll just say, no one has bought a ring like this. Gatos the Heat Shower.
Well, we heard about the Buffalo Bills and doing this year, so don't make it too fruity.
No.
Well, Drill, we're going to have some more pods because we're going to have to talk about some things as we approach the draft, and we discussed a little bit. So it would be nice to kind of air that out before we actually get to this.
Absolutely.
But real quick, who are your top youngsters coming into year 2, both sophomore and rookie? Give me 5.
Well, Grizz, I prepared for rookies. I could give you some names, but they're going to affect my. I don't want to give some people in the league any type of insight. Here you go. I'm going to give you one that isn't a fantasy factor, except for team defense. The pick of the draft was Quinion Mitchell from Toledo, cornerback, 6 foot. He's amazing. And Philly won the draft with that pick, in my opinion.
All right.
The second is Xavier Legette. Panthers have been really shitty, but I'll tell you, I love that pick. And then I trash the Bears constantly, but I got to say, the combo of Caleb Williams and Romeo is super sexy. And the Bears stock has gone up massively. I think Caleb Williams could be the Draft Genius Award. I know people are going to let him go late. I don't even care. I'm telling you that. He might be on my roster. We'll see. Unless the great Huzzah picks him in like the 4th round.
I like it.
That's all I got, man. And okay, I'll give you one sophomore. The surprise per se pick for me, because I'm not a really huge fan of this team or really the state, but I really believe that CJ Stroud is gonna blow up and he's gonna be the man, like top 3 quarterback by year 3.
So you heard it here first. Drill's getting Stroud and going back to his Buffalo Bills Diggs. He's on Paris Diggs and Stroud together. That's a winning combo.
Diggs is such a knucklehead. I don't know if I can handle him. But I will say Breece Hall is on my radar, boys.
Oh yeah.
Last piece. I'll start everything out. I am going to take hot off the press. I am going to take the 4th pick in the draft.
Woo!
So we are now on, and I
like it.
They are now on the clock. You have literally 24 hours. That's it.
Hey, are we doing it right now, or are we doing a Zoom for that?
We're not doing it because King. It's like herding cats. Even that.
Gosh.
Like these people, I'm on vacation, blah, 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 blah. So you know what? I'll tell you right now, you better make your pick in 24 hours, whoever's next. And from there, if you don't do it, I'm making your pick.
That's right, because we want to do some mock drafting.
That's right.
Let's go,
Let's
baby.
go ahead and start it now.
Let's go.
Love it.
Let's go.
Mock draft time, baby.
Love
All right, guys.
All right.
The wrap.
Well, had a blast.
Long live Gatos.
Yep.
Down with Gatos.
Gatos
Only
lane.
16, only 6-time champion. I'll give that kid credit. And I'm playing voodoo, baby. That's it. So, and one more thing. I'm living it rent-free in LTD's mind and fake gate mittens of the league. So those guys both need to know I got them on notice.
Uh-oh. We need to get them on a podcast next. We need some NWA trash talking. We got to start this now.
Yeah,
All right,
Razor your mind, baby.
All right, boys. And in the
Love you
pod.
guys.
Adios.
See y'all.